Actually wrote notes.
Should I just watch you from over your shoulder?
Could you hide within the t-shirts and everything?
That's cool. All right.
Okay. So thank you everybody for coming. This is the launch for my second novel, No Other, by Sator Press. Sarah asked when it officially came into this world, and we decided October 18th was the exact date. That was the first copy that actually sold to my publisher's mother, who stole Paige's copy later on in the evening. So, previously when I read, people were introducing me. I decided I'd just introduce myself here, or introduce the book here. To describe the book, I decided to go with the blurb that one of the blurbs from the back, which is, says, in Mark Luth's beautiful family gothic No Other, the reader encounters a landscape of mood and mystery, burning with stripped-down pain. Luth's sentences devastate in the raw economy, attempting to penetrate the everyday, tracing abbreviated existences, struggling to survive through bare seasons. So maybe that gives an impression of what my book's about. I'm going to quote myself in an interview I recently did. I said, the question was like, what does my book do? And I said, it embodies a sense of failure in the form of a novel. That's Entropy Magazine, or Entropy Magazine. So previously, I've read a couple of times for this, and I usually read the first like 8 pages or so. And I decided this time, which are great, whatever I like them, but they don't necessarily contain my favorite writing from the book. So I decided to read 2 sections that contain some of my favorite writing. And the 2 main characters mentioned are Hague and Tuesday, 2 words that are not normally used as names. So get used to that, guys. So yeah. And also I asked my friend Stephen to accompany me on guitar while I do this. So it'll be good. The glass sliding door. His nose felt all closed and swollen. His eyes teared. Frozen condensation made his jaw ache. The white light coming through the window meant that something was infinite. He thought that, tried to. He just stood there. The world, the room, they spun into his vision. The week before Christmas, Tuesday came home. She knocked on the door. She came into his room. He shrugged when she asked where Karen was. He said she was here. He said it was yesterday or something. Tuesday hugged him and she didn't let go. She said she was so sorry about Henry. He buried his face into her shoulder. She asked him if he was eating. She said he felt skinny. On Christmas, she told him it was okay that he didn't get her anything. He unwrapped the candy bar she brought him from school. He unwrapped a pack of blue books. It's free to draw in. It was the morning and Karen slept through it. In the afternoon, she said she was going out. She left then. Tuesday's breath steamed the window because she breathed on it. They drew on it with their fingers. She drew Holly on his calves with scented markers. It was mint and cherry. He sat on the couch as he watched her play solitaire. He watched her until everything was just so still. She nudged him. She told him it was late. Let's hit the hay, Kay. He lay there in bed. The dark was so much he couldn't see, but he just knew it. He shoved his face into his pillow. It was what vague shelter he could cobble. He had this dream that was so horrible. He jumped off a bridge so he would stop feeling so sad. When he stepped off, that was it. The wind and the rain disappeared. It was all black then. He couldn't know that, but he knew he never could, so he knew that meant that he was awake. He gagged when he breathed. His lids peeled at his eyes. He had this daydream about his dream. It was what lame crap he could assemble considering. He thought that if he killed himself, then horrible would be only the last thing he felt before stuff disappeared. The lame thought's fucked appeal had the sheen. He couldn't muster a tarnish, try as he might. When he got out of bed, Tuesday was asleep and the house was quiet. He walked through the yard. Dried leaves rushed against the chain link fence and he felt like he could see through it and himself and everything. There was a pool of oil where the car had been. There was a metal bowl filling with rain. Inside he knocked on Tuesday's door, but he was too soft and she was asleep. He just stood there. He walked into his room. When he sat on his bed, he kicked the carpet until his toes bled through his socks. It was something he felt. He fell back. He construed to build a simple and idiotic machine. His belt, the ceiling fan. The story his thoughts scrawled was the dumbest fucking thing in the world. When the chair tipped, the world ended. It was just a straight line and any idiot could draw it. Tuesday cut Haig down, then fell down. She laid him on the bed and threw open the drapes. She screamed his name, but it was all quiet. The sunlight disappeared into the shadows covering Haig's bed. Tuesday held his head up. She tilted it back. She felt his glands under her thumb. She pressed her ear against his chest. She shook and begged him. She begged and begged. If there was a God, what she said would be a prayer, but there isn't, so it couldn't be, so they were fucked. Tuesday kissed his salty cheek and smelled his sour hair. She lay down next to him. The air moved against them. She could see the light coming through the window. She closed her eyes. It was so she could stop seeing it. Hopefully the second piece I'm going to do is cheerier. Going through this excitement. So, I guess I should say this occurs about 6 months later or something.